It is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2013, and this is the first ever Warband Xtra number 1, brought to you by Mr. X. And what I'm going to be doing today, actually, you know what? I'm just going to start off. I'm going to start off and talk about what is a Warband Xtra. So basically, there's this streaming sensation that's like coming on, and it's a bunch of people are starting streaming. Craddock started streaming. A bunch of people started doing stuff, and I really wanted to do it, and so I tried to set up the stream, and like I can't. My computer can't do it like while I'm playing the game and stream. I just like, cause it gets really laggy and I just can't play. So I decided, after seeing the horse and sword thing by Captain Lust, and by watching a really awesome match last night, and by always having been watching for the past like 2 or 3 years, watching StarCraft things where they do this kind of stuff, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this instead, because maybe my computer can handle it. Cool. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about Warband things related to Warband that I want to talk about. I'm going to pull up streams of the big matches, and generally these streams are brought to you by MBTV, which is Captain Lust and E-Man's awesome stream. I'm going to be pulling up streams talking about that. I'm going to be talking about strategy, talking about players, talking about shifts in the metagame, and all the crazy shit. Alright. Okay, so today's I have 2 topics sort of planned. The first, we're going to do some very like surface level analysis of a match I watched last night and stayed up watching, and it was so great. It was WNL Week 8, Sons of Emperor versus Saracens, SOE and SRC, which are impossibly hard to say at the same time. So that's part 1, and then the second part, I'm just going to do a little pontificating, a little thinking about the future of things and metagames and things like that, based actually on a couple rounds that were in that match, that SOE versus SRC. So just first, I just want to check everything looks good. I don't have any frames dropped yet. All the sound is good. Yes, chat confirm, please. Yes, it works. Okay. You know what? I'm just not even gonna wait for them to confirm. I'm just gonna do it. Alright, okay. So let's see. So we're gonna hop into the first. You know what? Actually, no, we're not. We're not gonna do it. First, we're gonna start talking about what happened on the beginning of the SRC SOE match. If you didn't see this match, you can find it on the YouTube channel that Captain Lust has, which is MBTV Replay is the name of the channel. You can look that up, or you can find, I think you can find the replays on Twitch at twitch.tv/MB_TV. And the first map was, it's the WNL fixtures, so you probably know them. If you don't, if you're in the NA, it's Sandy Bush, and it is Swadia versus Vagers, and then the second one, because they played the maps out of order. So technically the second map is Sandy Bush, Swadia versus Vager, and the first map is Field by the River, Swadia versus Saranid, but they played them out of order, so that's what I'm going to think. And so the big thing that I was so astounded by, I was so amazed by when I watched this, was Saracen's cavalry play. And they actually ended up talking about it a lot on the stream towards the end, at the end of Field by the River, and they kept talking about, oh my gosh, it's going amazing. But I was really I was so happy when I saw it on the first map in Sandy Bush, because cavalry on closed maps is such a weird thing to get right. It's such a hard thing to get right, and I haven't really seen it really well yet. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit for cavalry on closed maps. So I think the way people sort of look at cavalry now is that, you know, on an open map, you should have a lot of cavalry, and on a closed map, you should have like 1 or maybe 2 like really good cavalry. And I think this sort of came about when we started saying, oh, we have open maps and closed maps, because that's a relatively new concept in the Warband thing. It's relatively new, and one of the ways, how do you determine if it's open or a closed map is, I think a lot of people always say, oh, well, if it has room for cavalry or something like that, then it's an open map. And that kind of makes people think, okay, so open map cavalry, and they sort of just associate those things. Which is why people tend to say, oh, on a closed map, you want to have cavalry, but like not a lot, and it's really not an important thing, and it's one or two, maybe yes. Saracens took 3 cavalry on Sandy Bush, and it was just so effective, and we're going to look at why that was so effective. And so the 3... no, I'm just going to go straight into it because I've talked long enough. So, here we go. Alright. And so this is where it gets a little difficult for me to jockey things around because I have to find things in my notes. I took extensive notes on this. Alright, 3344. Let's get there. I'm trying to... Okay, so we're at the first map, the first round. First round on Sandy Bush. And... Get there, stream. Get there, YouTube. Do it. Once again, these videos are courtesy of twitch.tv/mb_tv. MB's thing. Is it 3344? Come on. There we go. Okay. So this is the first round. And basically what happened... I'm going to pause it for a second. Basically what happened in almost all of the rounds on Sandy Bush is that the teams were just kind of jockeying around for position, and then there was a melee. And then whoever won the melee won the round. A couple times in the beginning, it was just like a melee, like one team just pushed in, or one team just tried to engage. A lot of times it was based around the flag, too, is the flag spawned and then there's a melee. The flag spawned and then there's a melee. But that's basically what happened. So, at this point, we've already sort of jockeyed around for positions. Can't speak today. And so right here, so SRC, you can see on the minimap, I know the minimap is wrong. E-man, he fixed it in the second round, it was fine. But you can sort of tell we have all the Saracens are just kind of geared up, except for the Cav. The Cav is off on the sides. And we have the SOE, Sons of Emperors, all holed up in the graveyard. And this is pretty standard. This is pretty, like, you would see this pretty often. So, Saracens just decides to push in, which is immediately awesome, and just, I love watching it. But, so we're going to look at right here. Now, right here, we have 2 guys up top. I'm looking at Saracens mostly in this case. So we have 2 guys up top, 3 guys down below, and these guys are completely outnumbered in the melee. Well, if you just by numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 3. That's something they should lose, right? And then up here, yes, they're winning up here. Can you see the mouse pointer? Wait a minute. This would be awkward. Can you guys see the mouse pointer? Yes. Oh, I'm so pro. Okay, so Saracens should be losing this melee right now. They should be losing the melee on the ground. And so then what if we keep watching, what happens is Saracen gets a kill, and then SOB Cav come in, okay, blah, 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 and there's a big melee, and really, when I'm looking at this, I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea who's winning. It's just like this ball of flesh. So I don't really know what's going on. So I keep watching. And SOC Cav come in. Now watch the time, watch the clock. It's 2:28. SOC have, if we look on the side, 2 Cav still up. Both of them still have the horses. I think Dominique just lost his horse. No, he didn't. The other guy just lost his horse. Whatever. 2 Cavs still up. And there's still Cav up. And there's still Cav up. And his horse is still alive. And his horse is still alive. It's now 2:12. His horse is still alive. The other guy's fighting really well, but the guy's horse is still alive. And now, okay, so now we've gotten to the end of the round. We've gotten to the end of the round. And Charlin's horse is still alive. And we're gonna see that as a little, like, underlying theme in what happens with the Saracen Cav, like, almost every single round on the front. So I'm gonna jump through about 2 or 3 more rounds of this first thing on Sandy Bush and just watching the Cav, and then I'm going to talk about why that works. So, second round, 37:30 is the timer for that, 37:30. Okay, so what's happened here? So let's just look at this. Oops, forgot to change it. Well, so let's just look at this position right now. So this is one of those rounds where, again, we're jockeying around and then master spawns and we pop. So we're in the melee. Now this is a little more of a fair-ish kind of melee when you talk about numbers. So we're just going to watch the melee, and right here nothing's happening. And now the Cav cards start to come in. It's 1:13. I'm going to keep looking at these clock times. It's 1:13, and the Cav are up. Both 2 Cav, right? Yeah, 2 Cav. And we're watching, and 2 Cav are still up for SRC, and it's now 1. And teams are still about even. Teams are still about, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Saracens, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on SOE. So Saracens is actually down at this point. And we keep watching, and the Cav is still up, and I think Dominique gets like 2 kills here right in a row. Yeah. And the Cav is still up, and then Dominique goes down, and does Joel go down? I don't know. He dismounts. Or no, he goes down. So, I actually just want to rewatch that, because if we look at this melee, I don't think Saracen's actually winning until the Cav come in. And I just want to see if that happens. So, right now, no one's winning. No one's winning. And then SOE get 2 kills and a team kill. Okay, so they should immediately be up. They should immediately be 1 player up, right? But their Cav goes down. Their Cav is the team kill. So if we keep watching, it's Cav kill, and then, okay, so then those two kills, this Vash, Napoleon, I can pronounce that. Those 2 kills were not Cav kills. They were not Cav kills. They were just products of the fact that SRC now has a number advantage, right? So cool. So we're gonna move into 2 more rounds. 41-20. Oh, this is an awesome round. And I'm actually just going in order of the rounds right for a second. So 41-22. Okay, so here, in this case, actually, SOE was up. SOE was up in numbers. They had a 4 versus 3, and this was looking like the round that they were going to win. But Saracens has 2 Cav up. You can't, yeah, I know you can't see in the vid, I know. So now Saracen has 2 Cav up, but they're down in numbers. It's a 4 versus 3. Oh wait, what can't you see in the vid? Oh, you just don't like my face. Okay, got it. So it's a 4 versus 3, and now Saracen has 2 Cav up. So now we look at this. Oh, and I think it's fair to point out that SOE also has a Cav up. So it's 2 Cav. It's 2 Cav and 1 Archer for Saracens versus 2 Infantry. Is that right? Yeah. 2 Infantry, 1 Cav, 3 Infantry, and 1 Cav for SOE. And so let's watch. And now look at the time. So it's 1 minute, and Saracen horses, their horses are still alive. Not only the players still alive, the horses are still alive, right? And then I think they swap kills here, right? And then I think Havoc goes down immediately, yeah. And now they still have 2 Cav up, and it's literally just the Cav. It's literally just the Cav, and it's the end of the round. There's 46 seconds left. There's 1 player left for them to kill, and let's just watch them kill him because it's nice. It's yeah, awesome. All right. So the sort of common theme with Saracen, which was kind of dominating in these first 3 rounds, and they were all so they were all close melees, but it always turned into the Saracens win. And usually what happens when you get a close melee is that if it's a close melee, then this team wins. And the next time it's a close melee, this team wins. And it's like back and forth. But the first 3 rounds, it was literally close melee, and the Saracens always pulled it out. And I'm suggesting that the reason for that is because they always have their Cav up, and they always have their Cav active at the end. And then the 4th round, where am I? Was that the 4th round? 48? No, that was not the 4th round. So we're going to watch the last round of this swap, and then I'm just going to talk about what the Cav are really doing in these 4 rounds. And they actually lose the 4th round. Saracen loses the 4th round, but 44-0 each. That's my time. Oh, let me go back a little. Alright, so what's happening? So the flag is about to spawn, and we are ready to go into a melee. And this was one of those cases where instead of being like a really tight melee, it was a little more separated. There was one SOE infantry got trapped outside, one person got trapped at the back of graveyard, one person got trapped at the front of graveyard. It was all kinds of crazy things going on, I think. Or I could be totally wrong. This might be not the round I was thinking of. Let's see. Oh, no, this is it. I just went a little far back. So Master spawns in the middle, and SRC decides to push into Graveyard, really, instead of just going for the flag. And so we're trading kills right now. So it's basically even teams the whole time. I'm just going to count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're at 6 now. And 1, 2, and 2 cav are up for Saracens. So it's 6. And then 1 kill for SOE, and then there's going to be a kill for Saracen right away, right? And then it's going to happen again, 1 kill for SOE, and 1 kill for Saracen. And it's all these really, really melee, but Trebon is still up, Dominique is still up. They're both up. So we're trading more, and Trapper's still up too. Trapper's doing a good job of it too. I'm kind of ignoring him because I'm thinking more about the Saracens right now, but Trapper was doing a really good job of that too the whole match. And I think they end up losing this round because okay. So at this point, I'm just gonna here we go. At this point, SOE is up, and they're really ready for this kill, and they should have this kill because they have 1 cav, 1 archer, and 2 infantry, which is really sort of perfect for this end game thing because you really want 1 archer and 1 cav at least for like any end game. Just because if you're an infantry player and you're in like the last part of the game, how much are you really going to be able to do against an archer who has set up on the other side of the map, or against a cav who can just kind of run away and skirt around the flag or whatever? So they're really perfect and ready to go. And then that was a really kind of shitty team kill, and that really shouldn't have happened, but it really didn't end up affecting them because okay, so SRC lost their cav, and then Dominique, I don't think he ever really goes down. But this, they just got spread up. And so what happened here, and if you notice in the past couple, 10 seconds, Dominique's like only focused on that crossbow in the back. And he was only focused on that crossbow in the back, and he wasn't helping at all in the melee fights. And so they end up losing this round. Awesome. So what does that do for us? So that transitioned us very well, I think, into talking about what these cav are really doing when they're up. Because it's one thing to just, okay, now I'm alive, now what do I do? But what are they doing, and why are we taking 3 cav on this closed map, and why is that working for us? I'm gonna take a drink of water. That's good. So there are basically, I think, 3 things a cav can do in a closed map. There's map control and scouting is a really important reason to have cav. The second thing is to help in the melee fights and to do well. And then the third thing is something I call sheep herding. So map control and scouting, that one's pretty obvious. At the beginnings of the rounds, basically what would happen, and you could see it on the minimap, and I'm not going to show it because it would take too much time, but the cav would just kind of spread out. The 3 Saracen would just kind of spread out and go and just find the enemy and just report it back. And that's so important. That's just important. You just have to know where they are. That's like one of those givens of strategy and tactics, is just knowing where the enemy is. So that's a big thing. And then the melee fights. So the second thing is the melee fights for cav, and what that means is, when the cav are in the melee fights, that's when they're going to be getting kills. That's when they're going to be getting guns. That's when they're going to win. But the reason it's okay to take cav is because you're going to get into melee fights. Because when you take cav, you're sacrificing an infantry or an archer. You're sacrificing something else to get that cavalry. So you need to be getting into a melee fight where that's not going to matter. Where it's not going to matter that you have 1 less archer or 1 less infantry because you have the cav. Because cav are so strong in these closed map melee fights, that's what you want to do. So in that last round that we just saw, Dominique wasn't in the melee fight. He was focused on the 1 archer the whole time, and while that's important, and that's actually kind of the third thing I'm going to talk about. The balance just really wasn't right for that round, and so they lost the melee fight. And as much as you can be great and be the last man standing as the Cav, if you lose a melee fight, that's really what loses the round. And then the third thing is the sheep herding thing, which is kind of what it kind of really pertains to the melee fights. But if you want your Cav to be effective in these melee fights, they really just need to be these small group ball melee fights, like we saw the first 3 rounds we notched. The last one, it was spread out, and the Cav could not effectively help everyone. And that happened to Dominique and Trevon. So what the Cav can do to get it into this ball is to kind of sheep herd and bring the archers who are kind of standing on the side or trying to get around or trying to get shots, sheep herd them into the melee fight and force them into not only just to not shoot and not only just to take out their shields, but force them into the melee fight, so that way you have one ball that you can just run over and just run over and knock them all down. And that's really like the big thing that I think Cav can do. And if they do those 3 things, those were the 3 rounds that you won. Those are the 3 rounds that Saracens won. So that's really why it's okay, and that's why it's working, I think, because they're sacrificing these archers in their infantry, but they're forcing every round into a melee engagement that they can win. And the last round, SOE spread out, and it didn't work for Saracens. So the last round, it wasn't the melee fight. It wasn't that big melee fight that they wanted to win. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Is that everything I'll talk about for Cav? Cav on closed map. All right. So that was sort of what I meant by surface level analysis at the beginning. Do we need to look at the second map at all? Let's see. We do need to look at the second map, but it's for the next topic. So what I'm going to do is just start talking about that. Actually, no, I'm going to take a drink first. You notice the Star Trek cup. It's like my dad's. Alright. So actually, you know what I'll do? Okay, you know what, actually, I'll just say this now. I think what I'm gonna do at the end is take like 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, and if anyone has any questions about this Cav thing, or like pointing out, or if you point out where I'm like just totally wrong about everything or anything like that, at the end I guess I'll have a little section where I do that. So if you want to start planning and thinking about that now too, or any questions or whatever. Alright, so now we're going to move into the second topic. The second topic is not related to the first topic in any way, except that it was in this match, and this match kind of inspired it. And so the second topic is flag timings. So I don't really think I've ever seen a team that's had a strategy that's based just on raising the flag. Because most of the time the flag doesn't actually determine the winner. It just sort of forces people into an engagement, and then that engagement determines the winner. You know, it's very rare that you're going to get a win by flag that really was by the flag. It wasn't by the engagement. Of course, excuse me. Of course, if you're in NA, you've probably been in a scrim where you were on open plains or random plains, and one team raised the flag, and you just literally could not get to the flag in time, and that was a flag win. If you're not in the NA, if you're in Europe, you probably never did that because you guys don't play those maps. Good job. And they're not in the map pool, but I think that is really sort of the exception to this idea that I'm talking about. And the idea is that the flag it forces engagements. It doesn't actually determine the winner. It forces the engagement, and that engagement determines the winner. And this isn't a totally new concept that I'm throwing out there. This is pretty common knowledge, I think, or this is commonly accepted as right. And so a lot of clans are doing it. And what happens is the flag will spawn, and then everyone will say, nope, don't move, wait for them to get in a bad position. And because they know if you go to the flag, you're probably actually going to lose, because actually generally often the team that goes to the flag first is giving up a position to get to the flag. And so you end up with rounds like what we saw on the second map, the first swap, which is at 1:11. This was a really long stream. Damn. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1 here. I'll just go to 1:10. We can get an extra minute of awesomeness if it ever gets there. And so the second map was Field by the River. It was Swadia and Saranid. Okay. So let's look at this. So you get rounds. Look at the timer, by the way. We're at 2:08. Saracens have 1, 2, 3 cav, 4 archers and 1 infantry. SOE have 1, 2, 3 archers, 2 cav, 3 infantry. SOE's thing is a little more standard, I think, now. It's just a little more spread out. It's a little more just standard. I don't know. But I don't really think that matters in what I'm talking about. So the flag's about to spawn, and SRC's pushing up, and they're in the forest. You look at the minimap. They're just in separate forests, and they have the cav spread out, which is like so common. And then the flag spawns. And if you really just watch the minimap, nothing happens. Nothing happens, and more nothing happens, and more nothing happens, and it's been 15 seconds, and no one's moved. The cav have got a little closer, sure, but like nothing happened, and they're still just trying to shoot each other. And this is happening like so much more. So we're actually gonna watch the whole round and see what happens. So the Saracens start trying to move their cav in, trying to get a little cav pressure on the back, so that way their archers can start putting pressure on the front, and they can just kind of box them in, which is pretty standard, pretty good, pretty useful. And now, okay, so now what time is it? 1:15. First time SOE is moving towards the flag, and they're moving. They put 2 guys on the flag, and they put them there for like 5-10 seconds, and then they run away. So yeah, and right here. So now the SOE run away, and they go to fight the archers, which is not bad. That's not. I would have to say I think that's the right choice. That's not what I'm getting at. I think, if they were just going to sit there on the flag, then they would just get shot. So it's definitely better in that situation to have charged the archers and at least attempted to do something. Yeah. So so SOE charges into the second forest, and there's like no Saracen cav to help. So I think SOE just wins this, but I could be wrong. Yeah. So, well, I mean, Saracen's just like surviving very long, but this little engagement was like an SOE engagement. They won that, and there goes the last man. And so now I'm going to stop it at 30 seconds, and we're going to review the situation again. And no one has been on the flag this whole time. So it's 30 seconds, and this is now the second time anyone's been on the flag, but the first time barely was anything. It was just kind of they were passing through it. So it's 30 seconds. SOE has 1, 2, 3, 4 guys up. One of them is a cav and 3 archers. I don't know if the cav still has his horse or not. And SRC have 1, 2, 3 guys left. So SOE's up. Dominic gets up. So SOC have 2 cav up again. Again, no. Cav staying up the whole round. Oh, I think that's an SRC archer too. That's probably gonna be big. Oh, right, Trebon. If you didn't watch this match, Trebon got like 9 kills in 2 rounds in the first. It was just like insane. He was just really good. It's another Trebon kill. And okay, I'm gonna stop it at 10 seconds then. Okay, so now we're at 10 seconds. Now look at the flag. The flag has barely been raised. It's been raised. I'd say that's the equivalent of 1 guy standing on it for maybe 4 or 5 seconds. And SOE now have 2 men up, and SRC they still have 3. So now SOE is down. SOE is down. There's 10 seconds left, and what happens? So SOE have the flag, but they're down, and SRC basically has 7 seconds to get the flag back from them, to kill them, because at this point they really can't get the flag. And of course, I'm sure this has happened to you. I'm sure you've been in this situation. But 2, 1, last guy, no shield, and there's a team kill, and he survives. Awesome. Okay, so SOE is down. Their last player has no shield. He was 1 versus 3. It was basically SRC won the round. They outplayed, they outkilled. They won the round. They had the most kills, which is sort of how we determine who wins. But SOE won, and SOE won by the flags. And so when I saw that at first, I was like, oh my god, that's insane. But then I was like, what if it was like planned? Like, what if that was just their goal all along? I don't think it was, but how perfected of a strategy would that be if you said, you know what, I know we're gonna lose this. I know we're gonna lose this fight. We're gonna lose. But if we get on the flag at 15 seconds after drawing them out into the forest, there's no way they're gonna be able to kill us in time, and we're gonna win. Like, what if that was their strategy? And so I think that is viable. I think that's sort of valid. I think, what if the flag became more of a way of winning as opposed to a way of forcing engagements? What if it became a way of winning? And what if we actually just won by the flags? And what if we planned our times around that? So there are actually 2 other rounds in this match that came close to being flag wins, and we're gonna look at those and just mark times and see what if there's a time where we can get on the flag. And if we get on the flag, then it doesn't matter how much we lose the round. If we get on the flag, we'll kill it. Yeah, it's a timing attack. Yes, it's a timing attack. It is a timing attack. So let's see. Second swap, the first round of the second swap also was one of these really close rounds. 131. Let's look at that. 131. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look at these 2 rounds, and then I'm gonna sum up this sort of idea, and then we're gonna go into questions and then be done. Cool. So 130. Okay, cool. Okay, so flag spawns, and we're just gonna watch the last 30 seconds. Oh, I forgot to switch it. Yeah. All right. So, oops, that's awkward. That's in the stream. All right. So let's just. No, we don't need to analyze the situation. We can just watch this. So it looks like it's a 2v2. SRC still have their cav up. SRC cav, come on. And SRC is on the. Oh, is it a 3v2? It's a 4v2. Oh my gosh, I just had to pause it. It's Saracen's a 4. It's 4v2, and SOE's on the flag. So they're basically trying a repeat of the first round. I think then they just died because it's 4 instead of 3, and there was no team kill, right? Okay. So what time? I'm just gonna go back because I want to see this. What time? 1:30. 1:30. Let's go here. Okay. So this was the fight before. Okay, this is happening. So we're at 1 minute, and no one's touched the flag yet. Because I want to try to find out. Basically, I want to find out. Or start marking this like period, just making the period smaller and smaller. What time do we need to hit the flag? What time do we need to flag? So let's see. 55, 54. If I had to guess, I would say it's around 30 or maybe even 20. I think it's a lot smaller than we initially think. So now, what time do we hit the flag? Because this one, I don't think the flag was really high enough. I think I'd want to get on it a little earlier than what happens in this round. So let's see. When he actually dismounts, when SOE, I think it's Carpe Diem dismounts, or the other one, I don't know. Not SRC, SOE, oh, I misspoke. One of the SOE dismounts. Oh, okay, so Carpe Diem gets on the flag. I am completely wrong with my factions. Oh, well, because the thing is, like, Saracens and Saranids, it's bad. Okay, so at 18 seconds is when he started raising that flag, and it doesn't really get high enough, I think. So I think it's really going to be more around 20 or 25. That's what I'm going to say. Let's look at the last round and see what happens. 137.30. 137.30. Right there. Alright. So let's just get a little further into this. Okay, so it's 1:30. Is the flag in the back again? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, this was really cool. SOE just they stayed in the ruins and let SRC surround them, and then they just pushed out anyway. Because I think the previous round they had tried to get to the ruins, but the SRC Cav just kind of destroyed them before they really got in. So that was really cool. I thought that was really cool. So at 115, 114, no one's on the flag, and this is one of those balls where it's kind of spread out enough. I think that the Cav are really going to want to do some sheep herding, even though it's an open map. That's what I would say. So we're fighting, and it's okay. So we're at 1 minute, and these rounds were so close. This match was a tie, by the way. I'd spoil if haven't seen it. Watch it. It was a draw, and you can see it's 7-7 right now. And the next 2 rounds were just so close and so awesome. Oh wait, the flag is up. Wait, what? Wait, when did that happen? Shit. Okay, whatever. You know what? I'm just gonna watch it from here anyway. How far is the flag up? The flag's like halfway up. Shit. Alright, well, you know what? That round, as awesome as it is, it's not part of my experimental set. I'm just gonna throw it out. And I'm just gonna scour other WNL matches to find that time. I think if I'm gonna try to pinpoint the time where if you're in a sort of close situation like the first one we saw where the flag was between them and both teams can get to the flag relatively quickly, I'm going to say then that the time is somewhere between 20 and 40 seconds. I'm giving myself a big window because, of course, it depends on how quickly does the other team get to the flag and how quickly does, do you die or do you get drawn off the flag. But I think the idea is what I'm trying to get at is that if you can get to the flag at this like perfect time, whatever it is, and you can keep the enemies off it for however time, you can create a win-win scenario where if they don't push you, they lose because they didn't push you and you raised the flag and it didn't matter. And if they do push you, it's already too late. Usually what happens is you go out and take the flag and then they still have time to push you. So what's the time where it's already too late? And I don't even know if that exists, but if it does exist, I think it would be pretty cool. And I think people should experiment with that. It's madness. It's madness. Alright. Let me check my notes, but I think that's everything. Okay, so before I go into the I guess Q&A, I want to once again give a shout out to Captain Lust and E-Man for their stream at you can tweet at Captain Lust about it. Tell him how much you love his content. Tell him how much you love me. Tell him how similar me and him look, even though we don't look similar. At Captain Lust, you tweet him at Captain Lust. Watch his stream at twitch.tv/mb_TV. Yeah, and they all of these matches that I'm watching, I'm having that stream up on YouTube, and I just kind of mute Captain Lust because I want to talk. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah, oh, and then the other thing is that if there's anything you want to see me talk about for the next whatever, for the next iteration of this, you should post it in the Tailwoods thread. The Tailwoods thread, there should be like a link, I think, below. There should also be a link to the stream and all the Captain Lust stream and all that stuff. But you should post it in the thread, and maybe I'll take suggestions. People were talking about having guests. I'm considering it. Maybe not next time. Eventually, definitely, but I don't know. Whatever. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna throw up the title screen, and I'm gonna so I can just cut it and make it into a YouTube thing, and then I'm gonna turn it back down, and then I'll have a Q&A, and that'll be a separate thing. So I'm just gonna put that up for about 10 seconds. I made that today, this morning. Isn't it pretty? Everyone tell me it's pretty. No one's telling me it's pretty. Okay. Well, I guess there's a little lag. Yeah, Pro Photoshop. It was GIMP. It was awesome. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay. So, whew! Oh man, that was so scary. That was so scary. I did it. Alright, so I guess I'm just gonna go to the chat. What's up, chat? What do you want? What do you like? Did you like it? Was I completely wrong on everything? How'd it go? Could you hear me? Was I muted the whole time? How'd it go? I get to close this. Oh man, how long was it? You liked it? Good job. Thank you, Deacon. Good job to you. It was 40 minutes? What? Wow, I thought it was gonna be 20 minutes, 10 minutes when I started planning it. I actually considered separating the two topics, but then I was like, no, but they're so good. Yeah, you know what? I think it would be cool, Deacon. He says that I could have studied 2 games at the time. I think it would be cool. Well, I'm on video. 1 second. Does that work? Yeah, it worked. All right. All right. Oh yeah, 2 games. 2 games. Thinking. I think. Oh yeah, I would want to get like just like examples from just like different games of examples of these things that I'm talking about, or like ways that it works and ways that it doesn't work. But I kind of threw this all together at like last night, so I didn't have time to look through different streams. Yep. Is that it? Am I good? Am I good to go? I'm gonna leave this up for I guess 3 more minutes and then gonna go. You got shields in your room. Why? Oh, these are my banners. They were decorations for my confirmation party when I was confirmed. Uh, are you a banner? Yes, yes, I am. I am an official. I'm official. They actually named it after me. Like they named the game after me. You make? I don't make them. No, I don't. I don't make them. They're pretty good though. They have oh, I was gonna make a joke. It's not good. No, no, that's not what it is, Captain Lost. And you know what? I don't think I'm gonna really respond. Hey, 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 Mark, what's up? Wow, I thought you guys were planning these things. I thought you guys were getting prepared. How do you think that compares to NA stuff? Okay. Um, I definitely think right now it's more fun and exciting for me to watch the WNL stream than it would be to watch a stream of the NA stuff. Um, of course, I think that's also a function of um, the fancy like titles and Les and E-Man are getting really good at commentating, and they have all these the mini map and they have all these things going on. I think that's a part of it. Um, so yeah, I think like skill wise, like I can't tell. I have no idea who's better. I can't tell. I can't tell if Saracens win up against Balian or TMW. I don't know who would win. Um, yeah, you recently. So, but I mean, I definitely think right now it's just more fun for me to watch that. There's more of it to watch, and there's more like stuff going on with it, I think. Also, I tend to agree with some of the sentiments that sometimes a first to four can get too long and too boring. I tend to agree with it, but yeah. Is the metagame similar? I don't know. Oh, this is my last question. Is the metagame similar in NA and EU? I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Um, I think basically we do the same things in terms of like compositions and that kind of stuff. Like how many archers, how many cav, how many infantry. I think we basically do the same stuff, from what I can tell. Um, and strategy, like I don't. Okay, tell you what. I will, or if you let me sit in on a AE versus whatever match, and you're next, or coming up WL, just let me sit in TeamSpeak and listen, see what's going on. Then maybe I'll be able to comment more on that. Um, it seems similar, but it's so hard to tell from the outside perspective. Yeah, we do things like weapon drops happen. Uh, what else? I do think there's uh, more emphasis, or there's more of players like certain just archers being able to go off by themselves and then try to do something and then come back to the team. I think that happens more in the EU. I don't know, but I don't know if that's good or not. I think it's good. I think like ideally in my mind of like how I envision small battles and things, I think that's like really good if you can really communicate that well. But in terms of how it works out well in Warband, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know. I don't know. So that is it. Yay! Alright, I don't know when I'm gonna do these. I'll post on the thread. I don't know if I'm doing them Wednesdays or you're back to tell me I'm wrong. Well, it's too late. Got him. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna just throw this up and then I'm gonna play the piano, I guess, for like a minute only, maybe. Do 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 ba da ba da ba da ba. Did I play? Yeah, I did. I don't know any songs, guys. Oh, you know what? Okay, I don't know what Twitch's thing is about music, but this is from Andrew Lloyd Webber musical called Phantom from the Opera. It's one of my favorites. See you guys on